at Southeastern University for 3 years in the faculty. Prior to that, I was touring with my own production, dance production, mime, human video, drama, a little bit of everything, and doing seminars all over the world and just invading the world with arts, because that's one of my visions. And one of the great things I got to do at Southeastern is bring dance a little bit more to the forefront of what we're doing in our arts programs. And just, I think we're at the beginning of something that's going to be incredible. Now, as you can see today, we're going to be discussing dancing through life. Who would always just love to dance through life? If only it was that easy, wouldn't that be great? But it can be. I'm going to show you a few things on how to integrate dance and academics in your classroom. And if you can implement any of these things that we're going to go over today into your field. So whether it's biology, math, critical thinking, writing, reading, whatever your area of expertise is, there's always a way to get dance in there. Even if you got to force it a little bit. And it's a great way to get nervous energy out of the kids too. Right now, a part of a grant process that I was fortunate to be brought in by Helene Robinson to teach our graduate students in the College of Education a course, EDUC 5513, which is, let's read it together. Integrating dance and academics in the classroom. Exactly. I never, ever just want to be a lecturer, someone that just throws information from the text so the students can regurgitate it on an exam. That's not the kind of professor I am. I'm very hands-on, and I think that really helps my students. Y'all can vouch if you want to, that I'm very hands-on in the classroom, and a lot of group activity work, and I get a lot of response as far as content retention versus it just going in one ear and out the other, or just bouncing off the forehead. And so I like to use some of these things. And right now we just started our first week of the graduate course, and we are finishing up this weekend by attending, and then we start a brand new session next week. So we're really excited. One of the fundamental elements of arts integration is what? Collaboration. Why do you think so? Why do you think collaboration is important? There's no wrong answer.
Nobody knows it all.
Exactly. And don't feel like you have to. That's when you finally get past that part of your life where you feel like you have to know everything and have to know the answer to everything, and you're able to reach out to people, that's when you can really flourish in and out of the classroom. All right, so collaboration is key, and we do a lot of that in integration. Here's an example. They'll recognize some of their faces. They're in here. We do a lot of group work, group research, group endeavoring, because it's not about me. It's about you. It's about your students. So a lot of times, if they can feed off each other and work together, their end product will be a lot more efficient than you would think, if you just give them a chance. Now, what we're going to do is something very exciting that I love. This is a collaborative exercise in movement, communication, and presentation. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about theater as well as dance, because they go together quite well. Would you agree that dance is theater? How so? Give me some examples of why you think that dance can be considered theater.
Well, dance is one way of expressing an idea, concept, scene, story. And that's what theater is also all about.
Exactly. Very good. Anyone else want to jump in on that?
Expression through movement.
Expression through movement. Very good.
Performance factor.
The performance factor. Okay, we'll talk a little later about technician versus performer. Okay, a lot of people can get up and do Swan Lake with perfect technique in ballet, but they're not a performer, meaning their face will be what we consider dead. They don't tell the story with their body. They're just going through the motions. Has anyone ever seen one of those ballets? And you just wish that they would have really went for it and performed it instead of just going through the motions? Because you can tell there's a difference. So, what I would like for you to do, everyone stand up. You're not going to sit a lot today. Don't worry, you won't get exhausted or sweat and be gross and nasty. But what I'm going to teach you is a couple of exercises that you can do in your classroom and tie it into movement, theater, dance, anything that you're trying to teach. Concepts, leadership, group organization, hierarchy, okay, whether it's history or the elements, okay, going through classifications, anything, you can do this. So what I would like for you to do, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's perfect. Let's do 3 groups of 5s. Let's do 3 groups. We're going to count off by 3s. You ready?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1,
2, 3. 1, 2.
3.
Perfect. Can I have my 1s in a circle here, my 2s in a circle here, and my 3s in a circle over here? Awesome. Now, here's a little tip that you can use in your classroom. I don't know what you do. Every teacher has their own technique for getting the class under control or not speaking. And I always when I introduce myself, I say my number 1 rule is, if you've had me, what is it?
Don't talk while you're talking.
When I'm talking, you're
Not talking.
okay? And so it's very good. Or listening, exactly. And a lot of times if I'm with little kids, I'll tell them like something like, hold a bubble. Have you ever done the bubble one?
Yeah.
Swallow the bubble. Don't let it pop, that kind of thing. Well, I do it with my older students because they will not do that. But they will do holding up a symbol. I went to Hawaii Pacific for all my graduate work. And so I was a cheerleader there. And you know how Florida State does this, okay, where I did my undergrad? Well, Hawaii Pacific does this. This is the shaka. So when I want you to stop talking and focus, I put up the shaka. So everyone join me. And that engages your students in an activity that may seem a little mundane, but it's something to get them going and to get them to shut their mouths. And I even tell them, if you're in mid-sentence, just stop and freeze. Even if you want to add something, make a pose if you see the shaka. Okay? So everyone show me a pose. Very good. There's no wrong answer. No wrong answer. Excellent. What you're going to do today, you are going to act out a scene without using words or sounds. Simply movement and presentation. Now, you're going to start off with everyone will have the same scene. Here's the kicker. You have to use every single prop on this table in your scene. Okay? Now, just because this is a ukulele does not mean that you have to use it as such. Okay? So it's your interpretation, and that helps your students from elementary on up to university level, teaches them critical thinking as well. So what you're going to do is you incorporate every single one of these items, except for the dice routine. That's don't pass out. I'm better on stage than I am just walking. Every single one of these props to create this scene. Your first scene is going to be the Daytona 500 race. Now here's the next thing. You can't even touch these until you perform. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get with your group, introduce yourself, and then look and see what all elements are on the table and how you can incorporate them into your scene. Now you can speak when you're in the creative process. But when you perform, you won't be using sound or anything coming out auditory. Okay? All right, 1, 2, 3, go.